Purchasing a home is one of the largest, if not the largest purchase you will ever make during your lifetime. Also, by buying a house, you are achieving the American dream. Here in Virginia Beach, however, the price of housing, including both purchasing and rentals, continues to rise. So you might be asking yourself, are you better off continuing to rent? Or are you ready to get off the fence and make that big purchase you've been dreaming about for a long time? Well, that's what this video is all about. I'm going to show you some data so you can make the most informed decision right for you. And stick around till the end because I'm actually going to give you my opinion on whether you should rent or buy, and I think it might surprise you. So first up, I want to give you some data on purchasing a house, how much it's going to cost, how many houses we actually have on the market here in Virginia Beach. I'm a realtor here in Hampton Roads, so I have access to our local MLS, which is the Real Estate Information Network. And let's take a look at some of the data for here in Virginia Beach for houses for sale. So currently, as of April 2024, the median sales price in Virginia Beach, Virginia is $339,700, which is actually up 7.8% versus the last year. We have seen house prices continuing to increase all the way through COVID and out of COVID. And quite honestly, I'm not sure if that's going away anytime soon. As far as the days on the market, currently the days on the market is 13 days, which is actually up 30% versus last year. And that is actually some good news if you are looking to purchase a house, because the more days on the market means it's sitting on the market, and hopefully there's some concessions you can get when you are looking for a house if it's been on the market for more than a week or two. There's some room for negotiation there if you are looking to buy a house typically. As far as the settled sales, that is actually rising now. It's currently sitting at 1,898, which is up 3.7%. So what that's telling you is we are seeing more sales, but that's kind of typical around this time of year, just because in the spring and summer is typically when we start seeing more sales as more and more people move during that time frame. The amount of listings is continuing to rise right now. Well, current months of supply is at 1.6 months of supply. What that metric means is if there's no houses came on the market, it would take 1.6 months to sell all the remaining inventory. We like to see it between 4 and 6 months of supply to be a pretty balanced market. So when you're looking at 1.6 months of supply, you are strictly in a seller's territory. If you're looking to buy, quite honestly, you don't have near as much leverage as you would if it was in a buyer's market. So that's some data just showing you how much houses are going to cost here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and actually how much inventory we have. But how much is it actually going to cost you monthly? Unless you're paying cash, most likely you're going to have a mortgage payment. So what is that looking like right now? Well, currently, as of filming today, interest rates on average are around 6.94%. So what does that actually mean? Well, let's take a look at a few different price ranges to give you an idea of what your monthly mortgage payment would be, so that way you can make a better decision. If you were purchasing a $300,000 house at 6.94%, you're going to be looking at $1,983 a month. That payment is strictly the mortgage payment. That doesn't count taxes or insurance, which we will get into here shortly. If you're looking at a $400,000 house, this is a pretty big jump from the $300,000. You are looking at $2,645 a month. And if you're looking at a $500,000 house, you're looking at $3,306 a month. Now, I mentioned that was strictly your mortgage payment. What are taxes? So taxes in Virginia Beach, Virginia, good news, it's actually some of the lowest real estate taxes we have here in Hampton Roads. It is 99 cents per $100 of assessed value. You are going to pay taxes on how much your house is assessed for. So not exactly what you paid for your house, what it actually is worth. And over the last few years, we have seen assessed values continue to rise, just like the housing cost has continued to rise. So as far as what that payment's going to look like, I'll let you do the math depending on what size house, how much money you're willing to spend, but you're looking probably between $2,500 to $4,500 a year in taxes. And if you are taking a mortgage, you can divide that by 12 and put it into escrow and add it onto your mortgage payment. And another cost you need to consider if you're looking to purchase a house, if you're going to be living in a condo, a townhouse, or a property that's in a homeowners association, you are going to have HOA and condo fees. So that'll add to your monthly payment. You are going to have insurance if you are getting a mortgage. I would advise getting insurance regardless whether you have a mortgage, just for the simple fact you never know what's going to happen to your house. But as far as insurance goes, I'm certainly not an expert, but I would plan on between $100 to $350 a month on insurance, depending the size of the house and the value of the house. So I always advise you to speak to a mortgage professional. If you would like more information on that, I have some great mortgage professionals I work with, and they would be glad to help you. I'll put my information down below so you can reach out to me and get more information on mortgages. Also, I have some insurance professionals I work with that can give you a better idea on that as well. I am a realtor here in Hampton Roads, so if you have any questions about housing, what's for sale, what's available, or you're moving in and out of the area, please reach out. Also, if you would do me a favor, if you're getting any value out of this video, hit that like button down below. That way I can get this video out to as many people as possible. And let's go ahead and take a look at the rental market landscape here in Virginia Beach, Virginia. So now that we've looked at how much it's actually going to cost for you to buy a house here in Virginia Beach and what the current landscape is for housing and for purchasing in Virginia Beach is, you might be looking at it, wow, it's cheaper for me to own a house than my current rent. Or you might be saying to yourself, it's extremely expensive right now to buy a house. That all depends on your situation. But let's take a look at the rentals here in Virginia Beach and some of the averages we have there. This time, I'm going to use a website called Zumper.com. I found this website to be very informative with a bunch of different charts and data that you can review for all cities across Hampton Roads. So let's go ahead and take a look at what it's showing for Virginia Beach. According to Zumper, the median rent in Virginia Beach right now is $1,940. I will tell you that's down 3% versus last year. If you take a look at this chart here, just like everything else in the world, rental prices have continued to rise over the last 5 years here in Virginia Beach. As far as what the average rent is, about 53% of rental homes here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, go between $1,500 and $2,250 a month. And this data here not only combines houses, condos, but also apartments when you're looking at rental data. Okay, so we've looked at how much it's going to cost to buy a house. We've also looked at kind of a little bit of the rental landscape here in Virginia Beach, Virginia. So what does that mean for you? Who should buy? Who should rent? So before we get into my opinion, if you're thinking about buying a house, what I would tell you is you need to have 3 to 5% saved just for your down payment. Now, I'm not a mortgage professional. There are many loan programs out there that do offer 0% down payment. Again, you need to speak to a mortgage professional. One thing I will tell you, if you've served in the military or you're currently active duty, you qualify for the VA loan, and those do have 0% down payment. In addition to your down payment, you should also have 3 to 5% saved for your closing cost. Closing costs usually average around 3% of the loan's value. Sometimes you can ask the seller to pay for some of your closing costs. However, with the current market sitting where it's at, we don't have a lot of houses for sale. We have many more buyers than we do sellers. So when a house usually comes on the market, it's getting multiple offers. So the odds of you getting the seller to pay for your closing costs aren't near as strong as they have been in the past. So I would always plan for worst case scenario. So therefore, I would say you need to have additional 3 to 5% for closing cost. I feel you should rent if you're planning on living here short term, less than 2 to 3 years. And if you don't have any money saved, realistically, buying is probably not for you until you can get some money into the bank, because owning a house, and regardless of how much it's cost, there's a lot of upkeep and maintenance that goes along with that. So you're going to have some reserves in the bank. So my opinion as a realtor here in Hampton Roads might surprise you, but if you're currently renting, I suggest you might want to stay where you're at just so you can see what these mortgage interest rates are going to do. I have no idea. I don't have a crystal ball. They could continue to rise, but hopefully they could continue to decrease. You might hear some agents tell you, oh, you can purchase a house now. Once the interest rates go down, you can refinance. Well, that is true. However, it's not free to refinance. There are costs involved in refinancing. So if you are renting, you're happy where you are, you need to save some money, I would stay where you are. Hopefully the rates will go down. That way your monthly payment will go down. As we showed, the difference between a $300,000 payment and a $400,000 payment is a lot of money. And each time that interest rate goes down, even a percent, saves you a ton of money. In saying all that, if I had told you 2 years ago you should stay put, you would have given up a lot of equity if you had purchased 2 years ago versus waiting to now. So if the rates continue to rise, it might be a good move for you to buy a house now. So again, I think the situation's different for everybody. What your financial situation looks like, you got to make the best decision. However, you might not even know if Virginia Beach is right for you. Take a look at this video I did right here as we go over the pros and cons of living in Virginia Beach. That way you can decide if you even want to live here. And until the next time, we will see you on the next video.